raised, it's plain to see. This is how we roll UP. I got stories, let me tell it. Bow and arrow and a dope ass mullet. Take one shot, that's all it took, son. When I fish, it takes one hook, son. Hunt big game, just take one look, son. Now I killed it, about to...
Alright, welcome to episode 5 of the You Gotta Want It podcast. Today is October 12th, 2025, and we are post-cold front. The first cold front of the season here in Michigan, and it didn't live up to the hype. So I'm going to go over a couple of the hunts that I ended up going on and talk about what kind of movement I saw with the cameras, and then we'll go into what we got going on the next couple weeks and what to look forward to as we head into mid-October here. The temperature drop was as expected. I got down to in the mid-50s to high 50s, so it was about a 25-30 degree drop from that previous weekend. And going into Tuesday, there wasn't much movement going on the cameras, and Wednesday was the coldest day of the cold front, and then it was going to get warmed up after that, so I decided to head up north and hunt the back plot on the property. And that was the first day of the cold front that I was switching to an east-ish wind, so it set up perfect for the back plot, and I went in with some high hopes. Ended up seeing I think 8 deer. They kind of trickled out throughout the night. Only one buck came into the plot. It was a basket 6-pointer. So movement wasn't as strong as I thought it was going to be going into the hunt, so I kind of just sat back and did some filming, and wasn't a very exciting night, but it was good to get out in the stand again. But like I said, it was not the cold front that I thought it was going to be, seeing deer wise. But wasn't very exciting like I thought it was going to be with that big cold front coming in, but not all cold fronts are the same, and this one really didn't produce any good buck movement with the 3 days of cold front. So waited till dark and snuck out of there. Ended up seeing a couple other deer on the way out, and that was it for the hunt. Ended up hunting over the weekend a little bit. Neighbors were out riding around firing pistols throughout their property, seemed like from when I got in the stand all the way till dark. And then Saturday night I decided to sit in the back of a field in some pines outside of some bedding, and ended up seeing 9 does and a spike, and no shooters that night either. So it was a really uneventful week for both hunting and deer movement in general. And still the majority of the movement we're seeing on cameras is happening at night. We got the occasional few younger bucks and a couple does and fawns during daylight, but that's really it. And the back plot that I just thought about, the back plot actually on Thursday night, right around dark, actually had some action I just remembered about. I had a couple videos of 4 bucks actually circling each other, kind of sizing each other up, and the bigger one actually went at a smaller one pretty good and pushed him out of view. They clashed antlers a little bit, but it looked like the biggest one was the shooter 8 that actually has 2-inch burr points coming out of its bases on both sides, so it's technically a 10. And he's been around off and on all year, so it was good to see him again. That's seems to be the only area though that he's been showing up on camera. So hopefully we can get lucky here in the next couple weeks and get a crack at him. He's a good looking buck. Weather for the upcoming week looks like it could be wet for a couple days in the beginning of the week, which we need, but followed by a little cold front I think on Tuesday-ish. And as we get to the weekend, the temps are slowly going to rise Friday and Saturday, and so we should be expecting some kind of southern winds of some sort. And I would say green sources are still key as of right now. If you still got some green in your food plots, with these dry conditions still, they're still going to be hitting those green plots to get the water content that they need. So until we get some good rains, that will likely continue. If your plots haven't got beaten up like ours by the deer, those will be good spots to key in on. As this pod drops, there's a cold front happening. That's about 10 to 12 degrees like I just said. Back into the 50s, so it's kind of a roller coaster kind of week, because on Friday the temps are going to be touching 70 again. But then another cold front hits Sunday the 19th into Monday, which will be a couple good days to hunt, I think, as we head towards the latter part of October. Another thing I did before heading home was freshen up the scrapes and mock scrapes. I got the dirt really nice and powdery for them to hit, and get the branches, and I got the branches sprayed up pretty good. So the next couple weeks, the bucks should be really starting to hit them, especially after a good rainstorm. So I think if you got a good scrape in an area that you can access, it wouldn't be a bad idea to give that a shot. I think if we can get a good cold morning, something in the 30s in the next 7 to 10 days, that's going to be a good first morning sit, I think, and start attacking the morning sits after that. I think the first good cold morning could produce some good morning movement as the bucks will linger around a little bit later in the daylight with that chill in the air before they head back to their beds. So yeah, if you got bucks hitting your food sources around last light or maybe just a little after, maybe it'd be a good idea to dive in the woods a little bit and sit on a scrape if you can find one just outside the bedding and see if Mr. Big shows up. The afternoon sits for this weekend is what I'm going to be focusing more on, especially with the warmer weather on that Friday and Saturday. I'm still looking to fill the freezer if possible and knock down a doe if I can, and then we can focus on the bucks as we head into the better parts of October. Usually around mid-October, if I don't have a buck down, I start to hit the panic button, thinking the worst of not getting a chance at a nice buck, but I just don't think we're there yet to panic. Better days are ahead of us as we get into later October. I just don't think the deer have moved as good as we thought they would with these cold fronts in the early season. Not all cold fronts are the same. I mean, years past I've sat on really good cold fronts and had really good movement and even killed on those cold fronts, and then like this past cold front that we had, the movement wasn't there like usual. So I think it's just year dependent and food sources and pressure and variety of different things that could change with each cold front. But no reason to hit the panic button yet if you haven't got a buck. Better days are ahead. To look on the bright side, if you don't have a buck down yet, it's always good to have a tag going into the best part of archery season, which is the pre-rut, end of October, early November. It's always the weather-wise, usually you got those cold mornings, and just the activity is ramped up, and they're more vocal. Deer on their feet like crazy, chasing, fighting, grunting, snort wheezing. That's if you're a die-hard bow hunter. That's the time of the year that you just daydream of being in a stand with the frost on the ground, bucks cruising, chasing, and really just putting on a show towards that first part of November for you. And then usually when it's cold like that and you get a nice buck down, you can enjoy it a little bit and let it hang and hang out with the guys at camp, celebrate a little bit. But when you get these warm October days, you got to take care of it right away. If you hit it bad or not an ideal shot, you got to let it lay, and there's a chance of it spoiling on you and predators getting at it, coyotes, wolves, bears. So like I said, don't hit the panic button. Just be ready for when the switch turns, and the pre-rut's going to be here before you know it, so get ready. As we get into late October, you can open up the playbook a little bit more with stand locations rather than just sit on food sources in the afternoon and small kill plots, or even bait if you're baiting. Once you get into that late October, early November, you can really sit on some good rut locations, funnels, and scrapes, of course. So yeah, really no need to get aggressive this weekend. So yeah, really no reason to get aggressive yet this weekend. Just kind of poke around a little bit, get a couple sits in if you can, and enjoy the weather before the grind really starts, and it starts temperatures start dropping way down and you're freezing in the tree stand. But it's a good time of the year to freeze in the tree stand, as those are the best days to sit when you got those bucks chasing and cruising around. And if we can get some good weather here in a couple weeks, I think some dates to key in on would be the 24th to the 26th. As the buck's testosterone really start to ramp up, they're going to be cruising late mornings a little bit more if we can get some cold weather, and maybe get a late morning cruiser before he heads back to bed, and and he's out searching for that first doe in estrus, and you can get a good sit in and maybe get a buck down. And then another couple days to watch too is the last Thursday, Friday, Saturday in October. That'll be the 30th through November 1st. Halloween's always a great time to sit. Of course, if it's in the 80s, that's not going to be good, but if we can get, normal temperatures in the 30s for the low and maybe low 50s, that's going to be a good couple days to sit as well, especially up here in the UP. That's really getting really close to the rut kicking off, about 3-4 days away from the last couple of years we see up at camp is when the rut really starts to kick in. So those will be some good days to focus on, weather dependent of course, but I think we'll have some good luck with those days, and that's what we'll be waiting on here. So that's really all I got for you tonight. Nothing really exciting happened yet to talk about, but like I said, I'm going to be hunting this weekend. Hopefully hit that Sunday cold front, and bucks are on their feet for me. And for anyone else hunting out there, good luck. But hunting this weekend, and looking for a cold front buck. And then next week we'll come back and we'll talk about what we got going on, what to look forward to as we head into the 20s of October. It's already going by really fast, so if you can get out, get a couple of good sits in, enjoy it, because it's going to be gone by the time we know it. So hope everyone continues to have a safe hunting season, and good luck this weekend, and we'll see you next week on another episode of the You Gotta Want It podcast.